Okay, welcome everybody to the points to ponder. So you should go, if you can go to the Bhagavad Gita site and have this ready with the answers, that will be good. So we will review the 12th chapter using the points to ponder. In chapter 2, Krishna introduces two types of spiritual practices, which are called sadhanas. What are those? Anybody wants to answer?
I looked up the answer, so I know
That's fine.
karma yoga and jnana yoga.
Yes. In Krishna's simplified introduction of the practices is karma yoga and jnana yoga. And then in the more gradation is given in the scriptures. Karma yoga, jnana yoga is jnana yoga. Karma yoga is split into karma yoga and upasana yoga. There is extroversion. You all do all the activities for purification, yama and niyamas. Then there is upasana, which is introversion. Yama includes ahimsa, satya, asteya, aparigraha, all brahmacharya, all these are the yamas. So these are the external things you do, and the internal things, tapas, svadhyaya, ishvara pranidhana, all, and these things, shaucha, santushta, tapas, svadhyaya, ishvara pranidhana, niyama. These are all the things for the extroverted state. Introversion is meditation. Scriptures further divide the sadhanas into three types with the final gradation. I already gave the answer. Those are karma yoga, upasana yoga, and jnana yoga. Jnana yoga is always the same. So karma yoga, upasana yoga, and jnana yoga in slide 7. Okay. Next question. In the chapter 12 of the Bhagavad Gita, which is the Bhakti Yoga, Krishna further classifies these three divisions of sadhanas into 5. What are those? Anybody wants to answer? Anybody wants to answer? These are the classifications. So Bhagavan classifies these three, karma yoga, upasana, jnana yoga. Always jnana yoga stands separately. The karma yoga, he divides it into 2. And the upasana yoga also, he divides it into 2. Karma yoga, sakama and nishkama karma. Okay? So he divides it into karma yoga lakshana bhakti level 1. Selfish desires, sakama karmas, accommodates materialistic people. Then the level 2, less selfish, nishkama karma. And in the upasana yoga, ekarupa ishvara dhyanam, and then anekarupa ishvara dhyanam. Jnana yoga is always separate. It's just one. Okay, that's how he divides. Then in the question 4, what are the 2 topics in the 12th chapter? We already saw that just now. Anybody wants to say? What are the 2 topics? Anybody?
Bhakti
One is
yoga. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Anuji, you can go ahead.
Just Anu. I was going to say Bhakti yoga for the first half, and then Parabhakta Lakshanani for the second half.
Yes. So it's given in slide number 10. So Bhakti yoga and the qualities of a great devotee. So simple, only 2 topics in the 12th chapter because it's a short chapter. And Arjuna asks a question in Shloka 1. What are the two inconsistencies in the question? Anybody wants to answer? This is an important point. Arjuna is like us. He doesn't even ask consistent questions. So what are the two inconsistencies in Arjuna's question? First, we'll see what Arjuna asks. Arjuna said, in this manner of those devotees ever steadfast meditate on you, those who meditate on the imperishable unmanifest, that is the Brahman, who is the better versed in yoga? So the first inconsistency is there is an equivalent Nirguna Ishvara meditation. You cannot meditate on Nirguna Ishvara. We've seen that again and again. How do you meditate on Nirguna Brahman? And Lataji knows the answer. Lataji, you want to shine? You answered it last time.
I know. How by focusing on consciousness, like ourselves, like
Yes, on the
deep
Atma, by
meditation.
focusing on the Atma, one who understands the Nirguna Brahman meditates on themselves, their consciousness, and not on some Nirguna Brahman. Okay, so that is the first inconsistency. You cannot meditate on, there's no equivalent Nirguna Ishvara meditation as compared to Saguna Ishvara meditation. So he asks, Arjuna asks, those devotees who meditate on you and those who meditate on the imperishable and manifest, there is no equivalent there. Okay, so, and what is the second inconsistency in slide 14? The second inconsistency is the state of the person is the end. Saguna Ishvara Upasana is the means. Arjuna is comparing the means and the end. So the Saguna Ishvara meditation is lower. It's like going through middle school to get to the high school. Okay, so Arjuna is comparing two things which are the means and the end. So the means to attaining that final Jnana Yoga is Saguna Ishvara Upasana. So Arjuna, if you carefully see Arjuna's, a lot of his questions are self-contradicting and it's not very consistent. And Krishna answers Arjuna's fallacious question. It's a fallacy in a very diplomatic way, without hurting him. How does Krishna address Arjuna's fallacy of his question without hurting his feelings or without causing him to exit the battlefield? Because if the moment he says the jnana, that is better, Arjuna will say, okay, I'm done. I'm going to do sannyasa, because sannyasis, that's what they focus on. I'm leaving. Goodbye. Thank you. So Krishna knows that. So Krishna gives a very diplomatic answer. So what answer does Krishna give? It's in slides 17 and 18. So if you go to slides 17 and 18, you can find the answer. So in the 17th, Arjuna answers this, Krishna answers this without Krishna's answers. Saguna Bhaktas, the devotees who worship the Saguna, means with the form, with the characteristics, Ekarupa Ishvara or Anekarupa Ishvara, they are superior. He says that because he knows Arjuna is not capable of the higher form of Nirguna Ishvara Upasana. And he says, Nirguna Bhaktas attain me. See, this is a diplomatic answer. So he says that in shlokas 2 to 4. He says, in the second, he says, Bhagavan Uvacha, those who fixing their minds on me and endowed with supreme faith, worship me, they are the greatest yogis, he says. because he's not comparing the jnanis. Of the ordinary people, they are the greatest yogis. And then in the third and fourth shlokas, he says, Yetu aksharam anirdesham avyaktam partyupasate sarvatra gamachintyam cha kutastamachalam dhruvam samniyam yendriya gramam sarvatra samabhuttayah te prapnumanti mam eva sarvabhuta hiteratah. So he says, those who meditate on the imperishable, unmanifestable, all those things, he says, they will take in that they obtain me alone. So this is a jnani. So Krishna gives a very, very diplomatic answer without hurting him. At the same time, he doesn't want him to flee the battlefield. Okay, so throughout the Bhagavad Gita, you will find this pattern. Krishna will give very diplomatic answers so that Arjuna doesn't flee the battlefield. Again and again, Arjuna keeps asking, you are saying jnanam is good, but you're asking me to do, jnanam is better than karma, and you're asking me to do this gory deed. I'm going to not do this deed. I want to flee. But Krishna very diplomatically again and again says, jnanam is the goal. Your karma yoga, it's like middle school. You cannot skip middle school to go to high school and graduate. To go to high school, you have to go through elementary and middle schools. And you've already seen this. How can a person meditate on nirguna, qualityless Brahman? Because Brahman has no quality. And Lataji, do you want to answer?
To meditate on oneself.
Yes, meditate on the Atma. So one can meditate on the Nirguna Brahman. So in slide 27, if we go to slide 27, you will find the answer. How to meditate on the Nirguna Ishvara. Meditation on Nirguna Ishvara is nothing but meditation on the Atma. Sanniyamyendriya grambam sarvatra samabuddhayah, controlling all the senses and even-minded. Te prapnuvanti mam eva sarvabhuta hiteratah. So control of all senses, even-minded, going inward and meditating on the self. Is again and again, he has said that in the 6th chapter also. Same thing he said. Now comes 8th question. Krishna agrees that the meditation on Nirguna Brahman is difficult for certain types of people. What type of people is he referring to? Anybody wants to answer?
Those who identify with the body, that they think that the
Yes.
Atma and the body are the same.
Yeah. Kleshaha adhikartarastesham. He doesn't blindly say, yes, meditation on the Nirguna Brahman is very difficult, because in the 2nd chapter, he says it's very easy. Susukam kartum avyayam. This Nirguna, this, once you know that, it's so easy. But now he says it's very difficult, but he gives the quality for people. It's very difficult for those who identify with the body, for the embodied. Dehavat bihi avapyate. The avyaktahi gatir dukkam. Avyaktam means unmanifested form. Meditation on the unmanifested form is gatihi. That goal is, gatihi means goal. Goal of the unmanifested. He dukkam. Gatir dukkam. Dehavat bihir avapyate, for those who identify with the body. Okay, is it clear so far? Otherwise, there are a lot of these things which can. Krishna here says, "Oh, meditation on Ishvara is good." Then somewhere he says meditation on the Nirguna Brahman is very easy. Now he says meditation on Nirguna Brahman is very difficult. You see, all there, it looks contradicting, but he uses clauses. He says, for the embodied, this is difficult. And there he is referring to the jnani. Once you understand, it's so easy. Susukam kartumavyam raja vidya raja guhyam pavitramidam uttamam pratyakshaavagamam dharmyam susukam kartum avyayam rajavidya rajaguhyam. It is the greatest knowledge and the greatest secret. Pavitram, it is very sacred, pure. Pavitram idam uttamam, it's the highest. Pratyakshaavagamam dharmyam, it is directly possible. When you meditate, you know that this Atma is not the mind, it's not the body. Pratyakshaavagamam, it is direct realization. Okay. Why is, next question, ninth question, why is shloka 12, slide 46, the most confusing shloka in the entire Bhagavad Gita? Remember, we talked about the most confusing shloka in the entire Bhagavad Gita. Anybody wants to answer?
Like, which is more superior, like in the sense, is it Jnana Yoga? I mean, not that it is Jnana Yoga, but I think somewhere he says they are dearest to me. So, and then it turns around and says it is also a person who does karma yoga.
Yeah. So in verses 3 to 11, this is the gradation he's given. Jnana Yoga at the top, Karma Pala Tyagam is at the bottom, right? That is, if you can do selfish acts, you can give charity, so you are well known. But when you're doing the charity, don't think, oh, I have my end goal. This is what I want to achieve. So if I do a little more, I'll get this end goal. Don't have that calculation. Just focus on Ishvara. Just give everything as an offering to Ishvara. Don't keep thinking, okay, if I tweak this little more, I will get this more results. Don't keep looking at the results. How is my presence in social media felt? Okay, I have 2 more hours. I will do more so that I will be recognized as the greatest donor of wealth, like that. So he says, don't do that. Bhagavan says, just offer it as to me. When you're giving that to this, you're offering this, all your donations to me. When you have that attitude, it's called karma pala tyagam, renouncing the fruits of action. Bhagavan says that is the highest thing. Why is he saying that? Because he knows that most of us, this is called exaggerated glorification of a lower trait. Most of us are at step 0. So if he's going to do this high things, most people will give up. So he says, for you people, this is the greatest thing. It is much better than this Jnana Yoga and all that business, because you cannot do all that. You're not capable. So just do this. For you, this is the highest. So Bhagavan here says, Shreyo hi jnanam apyasat jnanat dhyanam vishishyate dhyanat karma phala tyagah tyagat shantiranantaram. So you will get endless peace. Tyagat, due to this tyagat, shantir anantaram. It's you will get endless peace. Anantaram shanti. Okay. Understood? Okay. And we saw this question: why is Krishna seemingly contradicting himself to boost people up? Otherwise, people will be so disappointed. When you talk about, doing all those magical things, running 200 miles, we will all give up. We won't even think. To say, okay, running or walking 2 miles a day is great, we will be motivated, right? So like that. Krishna spends 13 to 19 talking about the qualities of a para-bhakta, great devotee. What is Krishna's intention behind doing this? Last question. Anybody wants to answer? Para-bhakta lakshanani. Anybody wants to answer?
So if you know the knowledge, will be tempted to do the sadhana. That is
correct. It's a marketing method.
And the second one is, whatever be the natural traits of the jnani, they will become a sadhana for us.
Yeah, one who's a great person. How in the second chapter, Arjuna asks, Stita prajna bhasha kim? Kimasita vrajeta kim? How that person moves about, how he sits, how he talks, how he or she sits, talks. So Sthita Prajna, Arjuna is just enamored by the Sthita Prajna, one who's balanced in pleasure and pain. So yes, how does this person sit? So that's why the second purpose is then whatever the natural traits of this person, we will all try to sit calmly like that person, not constantly looking at the phone. Some people, they're able to sit still without looking at the phone. How are they able to do that? So that it will become a trait for us. Okay. So with this, we complete the points to ponder of the 12th chapter.